Just about time to rock as toe gets ready to meet leather. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Detroit gearing up for their opening drive here, led by Matthew Stafford, the veteran former #1 pick back in 2009.
And Matthew Stafford was taken first overall in the 2009 draft, and he certainly played like a top pick. Throughout his career, he's been one of the most prolific passers in the league, and there's no reason to believe he's going to slow down his production anytime soon. Not only that, he's also one of the tougher quarterbacks in the league as well.
Right to the air. Here's Stafford. He's got the connection to Moore. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one goes for 24 yards.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. And he'll go right back to Moore. Complete again. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. They go right back to him for 20 and a first. So we just called his name on the previous snap, and they go right back to him, Charles, for a second consecutive completion.
Yeah, I think what we're discovering on this drive is that he feels like he has answers no matter what defense you throw up there. He reads it, finds the open spot, and is available for the completion.
Stafford's throw complete there to St. Brown. Here now, 2nd and 4. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Now the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9. To the air again, Stafford. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Stafford. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
I will see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
So on 4th down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. Prater's kick is good, and the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. I think we can safely say they came out to be aggressive on the opening series, Charles. They didn't run the ball once. All that passing, it does get them the 3-0 lead.
I think what we saw there, partner, was a true definition of football balance, which means doing what you want to when you want to on offense. And in this case, it was throwing the football. They may mix in running the football a little bit more as this game goes on. But this opening drive, while it stalled out, it still gave them 3 points.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And leading him out, their veteran quarterback.
The secret to his game and his success, incredible chemistry with each and every one of the guys who catches passes with him. And not only does he ask them to stay after practice or meet him before practice, he actually demands it because he knows if they have that kind of chemistry built up, they're going to be hard to beat each and every ball game.
They start the drive with Peterson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
From the 21, here's 2nd down and 8. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that one too wide and incomplete. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Back to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the 1st down.
They go play action here on 1st down. That one caught by Carter. They'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
You think about the great receivers in the game, what do they have in common? The ability to create separation in their routes. Whether it's a head fake, a sharp cut, selling a different route, the subtle bump, it's a tough skill to teach. And this is well done here to get open and pick up the 1st down.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. 1st down, here's a run with Peterson. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. Veteran running back like him, we've seen a lot of those chunk carries in his career.
And that's why you don't just look at his birth certificate and decide when a guy is done, right? Because you know as well as I do, in this league, as soon as you hit 30, they're looking to let you go if you're a running back. Sometimes there's a little tread left on the tires.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Well, that play there was certainly a scouting report special because coverage was all too aware that this close to the end zone, he's going to become a bigger weapon for that offense. And they were there to help force the incompletion.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Peterson diving for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown. So, partner, it was a passing game that drove him down the field, but when they get close, they trust that man in the backfield, and he took him home.
And they trust their offensive line as well because so many of these units, they specialize in either pass protection or run blocking. This group shows its versatility and gets both done on this drive.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. It's caught by Sanders. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
To throw on second down is Stafford. And once again, this is Sanders. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Stafford on first down. His throw incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Stafford looks to throw again. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. He's got his target. That's complete. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. 59 yards. And the Lions have regained the lead. Pretty good response. They had given up the touchdown and the lead, but they struck back.
And I love the way that they just saw it happen, took a quick exhale on the sidelines. So let's go get it back and fast. Let's go ahead and throw the ball downfield and get our own 6 points.
A huge chunk play to regain that lead. Extra point good by Prater. And the lead is now 10-7. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. And the Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back.
There he goes, left side. Inside the 10. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. 79 yards. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. They had just given up the lead, and they get it right back.
Yeah, how about that? Answered quickly. Got right back to it. And look, long drives have their place. We know that. They can wear teams down. But when you hit them with big plays like that, that can really be a shot to them. A big-time one.
Yeah, one play, but now your defense is probably saying, man, we could have used a little more rest over here. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 14-10. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25.
And Detroit getting set to go now. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. On play action, they'll throw. He's got a man, complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That goes for a gain of 31.
And this is how you answer a touchdown the other end. You come out throwing to start your own drive. And not just throwing, but pushing it down the field. And they come up with a big play as they try to answer back with a score of their own.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Shotgun snap and then the give to Sanders. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 41, here's 2nd and 6.
To throw is Stafford. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 25-yard line. A solid gain of 15 yards and the sticks move.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Off of play action, here's Stafford. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson, and he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right? That run after catch.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. They had 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
3rd down and 6.
Now it's Stafford. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have the Lions 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
From the red zone now, Stafford. And in for the Lions touchdown. Matthew Stafford, 2 touchdown passes in this 1st quarter.
And the Lions have yet again retaken the lead.
We're still in the 1st quarter, but it's apparent they're going to have to come up with a different defensive game plan for him because right now he's kind of having his way against that defense and has added a touchdown to the list. How do you slow him down? They're going to have to mix up some coverages, maybe change who's guarding him.
Prater for the extra point, and it's now 17-14. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Looking to throw on second down. Culpepper.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. He'll look to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Up the middle, it's Peterson. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
Looking to throw. Little pitch and catch here to Rudolph. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. They'll drop to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Moss. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Clock runs, less than a minute to go, and an entertaining first quarter of play. Now a play fake here on first down.
And this one nearly picked off. Well, kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down.
Partner, I came into this game eager to see how they would hold up in man coverage. And on that play, they held up quite well.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
In motion left, Carter.
On second down, Peterson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Have to give credit for a nice play there, but also have to look at it as a blown assignment. He became a free runner that turned into a free hitter.
What do they have for this? 3rd and 11.
They'll set up a throw. Flush to his right. 5 yards that time out of the scramble, but now they're looking at a 4th down situation. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good, and that will tie things at 17-all. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
(17-17) the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. 5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, the body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well. Some of them use power to get open. Some of them use those head fakes and subtle moves. Some of them just use pure speed. And the really good ones, when they're established, they know how to push off at the end of a route, too.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. A shotgun snap for Stafford. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively, not just getting sacks. We have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. A little juke. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be 2nd down. He'll drop to throw. He's going to find Jefferson open downfield. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That'll put him over 100 yards receiving now here in this first half of action. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They run over center with Peterson. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well.
On second down, Culpepper. And that'll be incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll look to throw. And he is caught. And he will have the Vikings first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
Well, field goal gets you the lead, and they're in range, but they're not looking to settle for 3. They're thinking 6. That's a nice throw there on 3rd down to keep the chains moving.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
They're going to look to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. A quick throw, but incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Back to throw again. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
And his kick is good. And with that, they take the lead here, 20-17. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Now after the made field goal, Walsh back out to kick it away. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Detroit's offense ready to take over.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Stafford. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down. Here's Stafford. He'll go right back to St. Brown. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down. Stafford looks to throw again. Johnson with a completion over the middle. They'll give him 4 yards there. And now 2 yards to go on third down. Now it's Stafford off the bootleg.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 34-yard line. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Throwing again is Stafford. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
He was trying to get that one out to his running back out in the backfield, but that one was read and timed perfectly, and they were able to break it up.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now Stafford. It's caught by Sanders. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
Boy, that was certainly well read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackled him for just a short gain.
Prater's kick is good. And that's going to tie things at 20. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
What we got?
Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away.
Cordero Patterson to return it, bringing it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and it's 2nd down. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? On a West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down, meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play?
And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A nice pickup of 23 on the third down conversion.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And now the ball's out, fumbled near midfield. And now off to the races, down the right side. And into the end zone, a scoop and score on the fumble return for the Detroit touchdown. Even the great ones, some of the best, they're not immune to the fumble, and here it really hurts them.
If the ball gets away from any runner's body, that's when the defense pokes at it, swipes at it, swats at it, and finds a way to create a big play for themselves.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. 2nd and 5.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a give to Peterson running right. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line.
45 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Here's 2nd and 3.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now back to throw.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
They'll run with Peterson. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings are going to take the lead.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle, and they will take a 7-point lead. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings booming away.
Taken at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run with Sanders up the middle. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
3rd and 5.
Now it's Stafford.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. Look at the big man rumble.
Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Lions are an extra point away now from tying this ball game.
So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Extra point good by Prater. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. Boy, hard to ask for a better game thus far. 27 apiece is our score as the kick's away.
From his end zone, here comes Patterson. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, had he opted for the touchback.
And now out comes Minnesota.
For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. They give him a gain of 37.
Well, it looked his way quite a bit in this first half, and with good reason. You can see it there. He is such a handful defensively, just too hard to keep him under wraps. He delivers a big play here for this offense.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he's brought down at the 19 after a gain of 19. 1st down in the red zone. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. He'll look to throw. Throw left side, complete to Moss. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Touchdown! A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front, and now see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and they will take a 7-point lead. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
And the Lions going to go back on offense one final time in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Stafford.
That swung out wide to Sanders.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
And this time they'll just keep this on the ground.
And he will perhaps get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And time has run out on this first half. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath, as we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports halftime report.
We saw a couple of high-octane
Coach.
offenses getting it done in the first half. Both teams had no problems moving the football. And you'd have to think, the team whose defense shows up in the second half is going to be the one who walks out of here with a victory.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. Now it's Patterson. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Now the Vikings offense set to go to work to begin this third quarter.
We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. The third quarter starts with a run by Peterson. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there.
53 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
They were looking good on second down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8. They'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Peterson. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And 3rd and 8 now. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. On the return, here's Agnew.
Found good room to run there. Returns at 14 yards.
And the Lions will take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Back to throw, Stafford.
He's going to drop this down to Sanders.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, when the running game's not working, sometimes you just got to take a few more chances down the field. That's a good effort, but it winds up incomplete.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Throwing is Stafford. That is caught. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's not the first time they've looked his way when they've needed a big play. He's been the go-to guy all game long. And they get the hook up again on 3rd down to keep this drive alive.
Off of play action, here's Stafford. Here's Johnson with a reception. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. He got 29 yards that time. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. A gain of 3, second down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Here's Stafford. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
Now it's Matt Prater on for the Lion field goal try. This a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. Prater's kick is good, and that'll bring him back within 4.
So give him 3 on that drive. You know, normally you'd say, we'll take it, but the way points have been flying around, it feels like a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah, you just have to wonder, are field goals going to be enough? Because as you pointed out, the way touchdowns have been scored, does kicking a field goal actually put you at a disadvantage the rest of the way?
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal.
And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Peterson. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else. And now it's 3rd and 10. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side of the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Here's Peterson. He's got it on the draw. And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Agnew now to return. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
So out now come the Lions. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals. as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
Meanwhile, Stafford's throw complete there to St. Brown.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be second down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
Now Stafford.
He'll go right back to St. Brown.
Call it a gain of a yard, and now that sets up 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. Well, they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. Here's Sam Martin now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
And when you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football in the places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They're going to look to throw.
And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. The Lions offense set to take over. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Looking to throw.
Complete on the quick throw to Moore.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. The Sanders has got it complete. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
I really like the angles that the tacklers came from on that play. They secured inside, took away the cutback. The sideline's there, so you can only go so far outside, and they were able to close in and tackle him for a loss.
Yeah, they used your boy over there, the 12th man. Sammy Sideline, right?
Sammy Sideline. You know something? He tackles pretty well, too.
He's tougher than an airport steak. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. 3rd and 8.
Now Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. When those extra defenders on the field, dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit into football.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20.
And the football going back to the Vikings offense.
They have played so strongly. You look at the scoreboard, you probably, with the way they played, you would think the margin would be a lot bigger, right?
You would. And in your experience, how many times have we run into coaches where they've talked about, hey, we just want to put it in the hands of our defense and have them win the game? In this case,
yeah, not the case.
Not at all. You want to put it in the hands of your offense, but you always feel better about seeing defense because you think defense is a constant and offense kind of comes and goes. Today, this game, no, they need their offense to stay on a really hot level.
They've been hot so far.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Culpepper.
And he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now back to throw.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
And Detroit getting set to go now.
And they'll take over here following the interception with good field position and a chance to take the lead with a touchdown.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Sanders. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Here's Stafford. And that'll be caught. It's St. Brown. And they eventually get to him at the 17 after a pickup of 17 into the red zone. 1st down.
Charles, he's now over 400 yards passing in this one. It feels like he has a zillion completions. Just a very memorable effort from a guy that we thought could be in line for a big game, and he has exceeded our expectations.
That he has, and I'm not really surprised at all because when you look at this offensive unit, they are loaded across the board. And, of course, the guy throwing them, he's a big-time player himself. They brought it from start to finish and really helped get the better of the opposing secondary.
4 yards remain on 2nd down. Ball on the 10.
Stafford throwing quickly, complete out wide, and tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Yeah, you only get a 1 yard buffer there from the line of scrimmage, and he got downfield a little too far, and the flag came out. Another run here with Sanders. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Back-to-back 1 yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Now it's Matt Prater on for the Lion field goal try. That's just 32 yards officially from the right hash. Prater's kick is good, and that'll bring him back within a point.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the 2nd half. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. And now out comes Minnesota.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And this is going to be dropped. Oh, my gracious. There was no one in his area code, but he could not hang on to it.
And this was a little bit of the knock on him coming out of college. Sometimes the concentration could wander a bit. This should have been a big play, but somehow he's not able to corral it.
They give it to Peterson. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
This now a 3rd and 4.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
Little pitch and catch here to Rudolph.
And he'll get nothing out of that one. So he stopped for no gain. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. That's taken on the 25. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return.
And Detroit back in possession of the football. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. Sanders has it over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
18 more yards there and another first down. And now a tip of the cap to the man under center, Charles. He just went over 400 yards passing in this ball game. He's got the touchdown passes to boot, taking pretty good care of the ball. Just all around a really solid performance.
Yeah, just check, 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 and check, right? Because he certainly showed he was worthy of the trust that his team put in him. A handful of touchdowns to his credit thus far. Now he's just crossing off yardage milestones, and win or lose, his name has to be in serious discussion for player of the game. Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a first and goal.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on first and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. And a pretty little juke move there, but not a ton to show for it afterwards as he's brought down. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up second and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out.
And the Lions have taken a fourth quarter lead. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
So now here come the Lions up to go for 2. Stafford's going to try and throw for him. And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for 2.
But they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away.
And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Another tote for the workhorse here this afternoon, Peterson. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
81 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he goes out right around the 39. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw.
Quick throw there is incomplete.
So many things have to go right for any passing play to work out. Quarterback has to understand the defense, deliver an accurate ball. Receiver has to concentrate and bring it in. Somewhere along the assembly line, something was off with that one.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw.
He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
The Vikings send out their punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 16. They start on the ground here. It's Sanders. Sanders shaking and baking. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. That one good for 33 and a first.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Another run with Sanders.
And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38.
1st down Lions on a pickup of 13.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score. Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Just because you've got the lead in the 4th, it doesn't mean you have to play it safe. I like the aggressive play call there to push it downfield. That time, it didn't work out.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. And in for the Lions touchdown. Fourth touchdown pass of the game for Matthew Stafford. And the Lions are able to build on to their fourth quarter lead. But that's certainly an important touchdown there. It makes this a two-score game.
But as we've seen, no lead is safe in this one with the way these two offenses have lit up the scoreboard. I would imagine that on their sidelines, they're both yelling at their defenses, hey, you want to get involved here? One big play from you, that could win the game for us.
Prater on to add the extra point. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. So the drive there took 6 plays. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. Now it's Patterson. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Little pitch and catch here to Rudolph. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. From the 25, here's 2nd and 6. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a first down to boot.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
First down, here's a run with Peterson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
On 2nd down, Culpepper. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Carter. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. They'll try the middle with Peterson. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give him a lot of confidence to help turn things around. 2nd and 11. Little pitch and catch here to Rudolph.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. He'll drop to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 32-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
2nd and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Peterson. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
That is caught. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it.
Back-to-back catches here for Carter. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Carry number 20 now for Peterson. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
A big play here, 3rd and 2.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
Here we go. This is 4th down.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
Touchdown, Vikings. Kyle Rudolph from 10 yards out.
And the Vikings have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
So a minute and change to go, and this is going to be an onside kick. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over.
And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. We got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on first down. Down inside the 40.
Now a timeout called for by the defense as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game.
From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down at 6.
Running right, here's Sanders. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The first down line at the 34 here on third down. Stafford now to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Lions first down, and that's the one that should seal a victory. So instead of fourth down, first down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on, because third down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
And the Lions will take the knee here with victory in the cards. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. And they'll indeed take a knee. Stafford down to a knee, and with it, he's going to ensure his guys a victory.
Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout, but instead they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one, because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to a one-possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. And in this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Minneapolis, so long, everybody.